No, more than anything else, and it's probably the third time I've said it once on TV and said it once to the kids in the locker room. More than anything else, I'm just proud of those guys. And for what they've been through since we got here, and the improvements that they've, and I know nobody cares about anything else but wins and losses, but the exponential growth that our kids have had on this football team, academically and socially, and the amount of lives I feel like that we've been able to affect in a positive way, and that takes great commitment from those kids. And those kids have done anything and everything that we've asked them to do at a really high level. And just proud for those guys more than anything else to be able to get a win and hopefully, a little bit of validation. And when I say validation, what I mean is that culture wins. It doesn't matter the individual that's out there. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Doesn't matter who the left tackle is. Doesn't matter who the nose guard is. Doesn't matter who the corner is. The expectation is for how we perform as a football team. It's not about any one guy. And I think today, hopefully more than anything else, is a great teacher. For our roster, is that it's not about, it's not about me. It's not about I. And as long as our kids continue to work and continue to improve, and as a football staff we continue to recruit and continue to stay positive and continue to build this roster, we're going to have great potential to do things that have never been done here before. And just more than anything else, proud of those kids. So Josh, fire away, sir.
I guess I'll let you kind of start with addressing the suspensions and kind of anything you want to say publicly about suspending those 6 guys today.
Yeah, here's exactly what I want to say. Probably more than anything else. Is those kids, those are probably 6 of my favorite kids on this football team. And at the end of the day, those 6 kids have probably done as good a job as anybody in this program trying to do what we ask you to do. Randall West is as good a kid as there is. Kyle Horn's as good a kid as there is. And Mike Uriarte's played a lot of football here. There's a lot of good kids in that group. But again, when we come in here and we talk about things as a family and the expectations that we have for our program, you got to live up to them. And so I love those kids. They made a poor choice. It's something that I'm sure that was a great lesson for our team moving forward and for our culture moving forward about the expectation and preparation and how we get ready for a game. But other than that, I still love those guys. I can't wait to get them back here Sunday. And hopefully we all learned a great lesson as a football program moving forward.
What did you see out of Curtis today?
The tip ball interception, you really can't do anything about that. We got an open post runner down the right sideline. He's going to put that ball up for a score, and ball gets tipped. You really can't do anything about that. I think the thing I'm most proud of him is just taking care of the football. And not putting the ball in harm's way, doing a nice job playing within the system. And just proud of him to find a way to win a football game.
We've talked a lot about the fact that ideally you guys are going to play with pace and you're going to kind of wear the defense down. Didn't necessarily have the pace for reasons you kind of discussed previously, but nice to see the fact that you guys can take the ball from the 25 down to their 1 with just Ali there, or with just Bilal there.
Yeah, that's a great finish. How many times as a coach, in the 15, however many years I've been coaching, somewhere around 15, how many times you've been in that situation and not got the job done, and I think that just makes it even more satisfying, knowing that, we got, we'll walk on right guard Mike Sullivan in there. You got a brand new freshman Dalton Thomas in there. You got a bunch of young guys with a lot of experience. But for those guys to just go find a way, you got Josiah Johnson in there, tight end, never really played tight end before, and just proud of those guys more than anything else, just finding a way.
Penalties have been a big problem the past few games, and it seemed today that it only took 3 holding penalties and just really narrowed down them. What was that in practice that you were doing, and how big was that? Today?
At the end of the day, even the holding stuff, we've got to clean all that up. We got a chance to go in the game a drive earlier. It's first down, got a chance to put the game away, gain 9 yards, and we get a hold. Tight end gets beat late, I believe. I'm not sure, but we've got plenty to clean up. And there were moments when, I wasn't, I'm not even gonna say that. I don't want anybody to be pissed off at me. There were some moments there I probably wasn't happy with what was going on the football field, but referees got really tough jobs and understand their job as well. But that's something that we got to clean up. It's something that we address every day. Something that we talk about every day. And so we just got to continue to improve.
In terms of play calling, it's I think 3rd down. If I'm remember correctly, you have Mike Fallon who's your four-string quarterback. You have him go deep down the sideline. Just what's your confidence in him to call that play?
Well, no, we're trying to get quick game. And for the first time really all day, they walked down on top of us and played a bunch of man-to-man. Obviously, probably because we've got the, four-string quarterback in the game. But, for him to kick off the midline, throw a catchable ball, and Josiah to make a great play. I mean, really, at the end of the day, if you probably go back and look at the football game, that's probably the play that won the game. And so just proud of both of those kids, man. I mean, Mike Fallon's as good as they come. Great family, tough kid, works unbelievably hard. I'm glad he got a little bit of reward there and made a huge play in a football game for us.
Looking at the offense as a whole, what worked today that hadn't been working for you guys in previous weeks? I
won't say what worked and what didn't work. Early in the football game, we were struggling to run the football. They did a lot of different things. They kind of changed the front. They were moving around a lot. Just some of our 5- and 6-man box runs, just zone and counter. We were having some issues there and really weren't able to pop a big one till we kind of had to have it. And so more than anything else, just our kids' ability just to go in there at halftime, make some adjustments, find a few ways to create us, be able to run the football and take care of those two quarterbacks. I thought that was bigger than anything else.
Defensively, you guys were able to rush the passer a little bit. I think you had 7 tackles for losses as a team total. What was different about your front 7 that they were able to kind of maybe get more penetration and kind of create a little more havoc in the back?
I think we executed better. We were able to stop the run a little bit early in downs to create some situations where we could go rush the passer. I thought Coach Raheem did a great job. Creating some zone pressure, the illusion of some 5-man pressure there, to create some matchups that were favorable for us and win, and more than anything else, And I don't want to get on a soapbox or anything, but the kids are the ones that make all the plays, and I thought our kids did a great job making plays today, and that's the biggest thing moving forward.
4th and goal, you opted to go for it and have Curtis throw a touchdown to Sadiq. What was your thought process in going for it instead of kicking the field goal? And how much trust did you have in Curtis?
No, I think the biggest thing, honestly, the last thing you want to be doing on 4th and 3 is throwing a fade ball, but that's what they made us do by what they played on defense, and thank goodness Sadiq made a big play. Because if Sadiq doesn't make that play, I'm probably not sitting here in front of you right now as a, winning head football coach, but to me, where we were in the game, knowing that our defense had some momentum and they were picking up some stops and they were they were feeling really good about themselves, I just thought that they would struggle to drive 97 yards. And I thought the biggest thing was just where we were on the football field was going to allow us to, even if we don't get it there, knowing that we're up a score or 2 at the time, the fact that we're going to have the ability probably to get this ball back on the short field, knowing how well our special teams have been playing throughout the season. So, more than anything else, I thought our defense was making some stops, and when our defense is playing well, it gives us a chance to be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
Curtis racked up quite a few rushing yards in there. Were you drawing up run plays for him, or was that kind of an improvisation?
No, we had none of them were designed quarterback runs. With what they were doing defensively, we were changing who the Riki was a few times. Read some interior D linemen. And that's the first time we've really done that this year, but, just made the right read, got vertical a couple times. There was one down there in the 4-minute drill, where he made a really good decision, in terms of handing the ball off. We thought we were going to have a nice, easy pull read and go win the game and get a first down there. It didn't happen. Had to hand the ball off, blow around the back, and we did a nice job. But no really designed runs for him. I just thought he did a nice job creating and finding ways to go win.
You mentioned it before, but sitting here as a winning head football coach for the first time in your career, just what does it mean to you to get this first win?
That's what we're supposed to do.
What do you think the key to generating turnovers defensively was, especially those 2 interceptions?
I think pressure and longer down distances, more than anything else. And again, I thought, knowing that they were, trying to get the ball out of their hand quickly. I mean, they've got a lot of the same issues that we're having in terms of depth up front, knowing they were going to try to get the ball out of their hand quickly. There were 2 really good calls there. Bench roll were the widest of the trips. That corner's going to come in there and trap it and try to rob it. And, Zara called it, and they fired it right off Isaiah, and, we ended up with a pick 6. And then can't remember off the top of my head the call that was made on Jordan's interception. But again, the ability to create pressure, knowing that we're in a longer down and distance because we're able to stop the run a little bit. I thought that was the biggest thing.
Is it safe to say there's a quarterback competition this week?
No, we'll see. I mean, we still got to go in there and watch the tape, you know, and so we'll get in there, and whoever the best guy is, that's the guy's going to play.
So Michael, walk me through these last 24, 36 hours between learning that you're going to start this game and obviously sitting here today.
Yeah, so I kind of got the news kind of suddenly. I think everyone kind of got the news pretty suddenly. And just, from that moment forward, it's just getting that mindset of ready to go. It's not a thing where you feel like now you have to get prepared or this or that. You always stay prepared throughout these last 4 or 5 weeks, and then when your number's called, you just go and do your job.
Was it different than last year heading into Charlotte?
Definitely, just because last year was a whole week's worth of knowing, but not different in the sense that I felt more prepared or less prepared or anything like that. I just was just as excited as last year to come in, and get my first start of the season. So I'm just thankful for that.
What did you feel like was working for you guys offensively?
Today, honestly, a lot. I felt like there was a lot of things out there that we left on the field, and I didn't feel like it was because the defense took it away. We kind of knew what to expect coverage-wise. They made some adjustments, I think, going into right before the half and then the second half. But as far as what we did, I'm really proud of the guys up front. Unbelievably proud of the guys up front, especially since we've had a lot of issues with that recently, just as far as losing people or whatever it may be. But and then the receivers, and I've said since fall camp, I'm just so excited to see those guys go out there and ball, and I just can't wait. And today I felt like the ball got thrown around to a lot of different guys, and so that also makes me really happy.
You talked about the offensive line. For you guys to go, I think it was 74 yards there at the end, just handing it to Bilal and kind of letting him kind of do the work. What does it say about the work that those guys up front were able to do?
No, I think it's just a testament to this whole week. I feel like we talked about since Sunday, break the rock, and I feel like everybody was very bought in, and we know that we were going to face some adversity. We've been facing adversity. Even yesterday was just a whole bunch more adversity, And so I think, those guys locked in. They realized, what was at stake and what they need to do. And we talk about it all the time and say it every day, just do your job. And I feel like those guys did their job at a very high level tonight.
Jake, it seemed like you guys were able to put a lot more pressure on the quarterbacks and kind of really get to the running backs a little bit more in the backfield. What was different for you guys that you were able to kind of get some more penetration in that?
Coach Raheem had a really good game plan going into this, so I think, we were repping it all week and, played out pretty well, and we were just getting after the quarterback pretty hard. You had a young group in there, but, we did pretty well. They all played pretty hard. Proud of them.
Jake, what did it mean to you, and how much energy did it give the defense to see the pick six and then the other interception as well?
It's great. Anytime we can get the ball back to our offense is great. There's nothing better than a turnover on defense, so that felt great.
I said, walk us through that pick six.
They went like no huddle, and I knew they was going to get the ball out fast. And Jake Biscoe and the D-line ain't been getting to the quarterback like pretty much the whole day leading up to that moment. So I just knew he was going to throw the ball pretty much quick within the first 2 seconds. And then I seen it, and it was just game slowed down, and then there it is, touchdown.
Michael, it looked like you're targeting Samuel Ellis a lot today. He certainly had a solid day. What was that about getting him back in the offense?
Honestly, I don't feel like any game plan or any week that we go into, it's all about one receiver. I just think what they were doing defensively and given where Sam was at on the field, that it just kind of went to him. And every time it went to him, he made a play. He even caught the ball out of bounds one time and it being a penalty. But he had a really big day. I wish we could have that interception back. If I wouldn't have got hit, he would have had a touchdown on a post route right there too. And so he'd had an insanely big day. But every week, it's not like we're just focusing on one guy or anything like that. Everybody is, liable to get the ball and go anywhere, just depending on field position, where we are in the drive and what the defense is doing.
Ish, what about that throw in the end zone to Sadiq? Just, the trust you have in yourself. What is that like?
It's my guy. Honestly, we just lined up in a formation and did a play that usually doesn't go to that guy, but they came out in a man set, and so he's one of the guys that can then turn into getting the ball, especially down in the red zone. And so we've been throwing fade routes all year for the past 3 years since I've known Sadiq, so I just knew where to put it, and he made a really big play.
Jake, Michael was talking about sort of breaking the rock. What does it do for this unit? You guys have kind of broken through and you're able to get this win.
Yeah, moving forward is we just got to keep the momentum towards next week. We just got to get better each week and do what we can to improve, especially on the D-line. And we did break the rock, but we do have to do a little more, to keep improving each week.
As had Martin Mangrum got the fumble, Jordan Adams and James Bowe both had big games. Just what have you seen them just in terms of stepping up in the back end?
I know I was talking to Jordan after I got mine. He never had one in his career. I was just telling him, like, I don't know what it is, because before I went out and got mine, I told him I'm about to get one. I feel it. And so I went to the sideline. I said, yeah, you getting the next one, and you gonna run it back. But I don't know if he got the speed to get it in there. But then he came to the sideline. He was like, how'd you call that? I was like, I don't know. I just feel it today. And he finally got on one, and I was yelling at Martin, like, okay, you making plays, you know. So it's just a competition with the secondary who can get the most turnovers. So it's all fun out there.
So what was different for you guys defensively? It seemed like you did a much better job at sort of the fundamentals and not kind of letting Akron kind of create some of those bigger plays.
I think our communication and our details, just paying attention to details out there. This game was pretty much a lot better than the previous four. So, you know, a lot of people getting the calls and helping out other people on the field. And, you know, the depth was pretty, like, going down. There was people out there I never really seen like that this year. It was just Bisco helping people out, next man up mentality. So we just came out there and did our jobs.
Michael, you went out with an injury, but you came back and kind of battled through it for the rest of the game. What do you think it means to the rest of the team for you to be able to just battle through it?
I mean, I honestly wouldn't even want them to take that as like some hoorah type thing by me. I honestly just caught a cramp. I rarely ever catch cramps, and when I do, they're really bad. So I was on the sideline eating pickles, tubs of mustard, like 20 things of Pedialyte. I feel like I was about, then the problem became I feel like I was about to throw up everywhere just from all the stuff I ate. But yeah, it was just weird. Like, and that's, yeah, we had to go get that last drive, and I mean, that's a big attest of the O-line and Bilal, you know, just hammering it in there and doing good. Because I mean, I don't know if I would have tried to pull it on one of them, I might have just cramped right back up again. But yes, I mean, in no way do I take, you know, anything for that or feel like hoorah or macho for doing that. You know, I just caught a cramp and just try to get back out there.
What was the feeling on the sideline when they pulled it to a one-possession game, 8 points in the fourth quarter there?
Honestly, interesting. So we kind of thought for a little bit there, and you never want to ever think that, you know, you have the game sealed or anything like that. But we started getting really excited once we, I think, hit 34. I don't know what they had, maybe 17 or what, maybe 14. And you know, we were happy because we felt like, you know, we had this one. You know, as the game picked up, they started, you know, having a little bit more success, and then came into a one-possession game when they got the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. But you know, then it's just about doing your job. You know, it's not a bigger moment or a smaller moment. It's just about going out there, and we know we had to do. We know we had to get first downs, milk the clock, and we ended up being successful in doing that.
Last question, guys.
For any of you guys, what was the celebration like in the locker room for Coach Bell's first win?
Powerful. I mean,
That's why I'm still dressed.
Yeah, it was really powerful, and Coach Bell's really humble about, you know, it's about us and, you know, about all these guys. But I think, you know, any moment that you have a victory at first time at any type of level, you know, it's your first start, or, you know, your first whatever it may be. I was, you know, emotionally overwhelmed last year when I got my first start with Charlotte and won, and to see him, you know, and he's worked his way up to the ranks, and, you know, to see the success he's had, but never, you know, been a head coach, and to finally get his first victory, given all the adversity we've had. I mean, most people see for the past 4 weeks, but all the way back to January, just all the stuff that we've been through, and learning a new system and new people and a whole new program. And so, you know, and we talked about it earlier today that the culture would win this game, and that would be, you know, what broke the rock for us. And, you know, today that's what happened.